use a distraction. With all the terror, fear, and hate that have dominated our headlines, Facebook feeds, and coffee conversations, some diversion would be nice. A few minutes where we're not yelling at each other or watching other people do it on our TV screens. The world has become full of unwelcomed darkness. Perhaps it's time to welcome some, if only for a few minutes. This weekend is your chance to wear your inner nerd on your sleeve. So put on your 9 News Eclipse glasses, unless you're one of the jerks trying to sell them. We haven't been able to do this since 1979, when thankfully, we still had news cameras to capture the glory.
But I thought it was going to be pitch dark.
We have much better technology these days, and we can actually tell you whether or not the clouds might block your view. This is the first total eclipse to sweep the country in 99 years, and it really couldn't have come at a better time. So sit back, grab a beverage, let's distract ourselves. I'm Steve Stager in for Kyle Clark. This is Next. And Becky Ditchfield is manning the helm of our updated weather technology. Everybody wants to know, Becky, if there are going to be clouds in the way of that eclipse.
You know, and there is a chance. It just depends on where you are all across the region. Again, there's the path of totality to our north. We've got a lot of folks headed that way. And at 11:45, if you're headed to Alliance, Nebraska, it might be more cloudy. Cold front's going to be pushing through. Rain is in the forecast. Here over the Denver metro area, on up into Wyoming, partly cloudy skies. We should have great views for the eclipse throughout the first half of the day. It'll be during the second half that we have a chance for showers and thunderstorms. So eclipse viewing on Monday, at least for Colorado and Nebraska, or Colorado and Wyoming, Steve, look good.
Sounds nice. Thank you, Becky. Well, if you could see your screen, you probably aren't wearing a snazzy new pair of your 9 News Eclipse glasses. Well, either that, or you're one of the people trying to take a free giveaway from a TV station and make a profit out of it. Look at what we found online today. A bunch of people selling 9 News Eclipse glasses on Craigslist, Facebook, and the app OfferUp. They're going for $25 in some places, even more in others. And we just want you to know that if you're considering dropping that kind of cash to pay one of these people off, they cost less than 50 cents to make. Let me share my thoughts on this. The people who are using a free TV giveaway to make a buck are jerks, plain and simple. And here's why. I've lost count of how many people have contacted us begging for a pair or two of glasses. These are parents who are trying to watch a moment in history with their kid. These are teachers who are missing a few pairs for kids in their classroom. These are passionate people who didn't sit and wait in a line solely to take advantage of someone else. Sure, it's not illegal, but that does not make it right. Well, baseball may be our national pastime, but football is America's sport. And those Friday night lights at high school games can shine just as bright as they do in college or in the pros. So imagine our surprise recently when we heard some schools in Colorado say they're having trouble luring students to play football. 4 teams have already told CHSAA they'll have to sit the season out. We asked our Eddie Randall to try to figure out why they're benched.
And it was an awful feeling then, it's an awful feeling now.
This is the second time in 2 decades Center High School's athletic director Kevin Jones has seen his football team sit the season out because of a player shortage.
But I really believe it's really just a cycle of student athletes that don't want to play the sport of football because it is a grueling sport and it takes a little bit of mental toughness and physical toughness to play it.
His team plays 11-man football, but 3 other Colorado schools that play 6 or 8-man have also had to back out this season for the same reason.
We put all the things in our basket, and although it was tough, it was just the right thing to do.
Athletic director Chris Weiner at Deer Trail High School is on the other side of the situation. His team is coming back this year after sitting out 2 years.
Well, we started a campaign called the Return 2017, had a prep rally, met with parents, got the student body involved.
Right now, he has just enough players to hit the field, but he says in order to have a successful season, he needs more.
Players get rest, and they're going to get dinged up, and substitutes are always vital for any athletic team.
The Colorado High School Activities Association says most of the schools sitting out plan to return next year due to an increase in students when junior high school kids enter high school.
Our magical plan is some of those coaches that were coaching high school, get them down in the junior high level, spark up the interest again.
In the meantime, those who want to play but their school's program is canceled still can at another school close by.
9 student athletes supposedly signed up that are going to go to 4 different schools because they get that option.
For Next, I'm Eddie Randall.
And Chassa admits it's out of the ordinary for 4 schools to back out all in one year. We should also point out that this is a problem in more sports than just football. Schools have canceled baseball and soccer in the past because of a shortage of players. Math is hard, and that's why arguably a lot of us stayed away from it during school, journalism degree. But 2 professors here in Denver wanted to make it a little bit easier. So they created an app that helps young kids get excited about math. And the best news is the app actually seems to be working. Here's Byron Reed.
You want to do the kitty today?
Haley Miles and her 3-year-old daughter Kennedy can tell you being shy about counting numbers runs in the family.
I haven't been much of a fan of math since I was a kid, and so I want her to enjoy math.
A problem Dr. Aditya Nagrath has seen firsthand, teaching mathematics classes at the University of Denver.
They come into our office, we try to help them with the problems, but they really don't understand what we're saying.
Well, there would be.
That's why he and his former math professor created an app called Elephant Learning, a downloadable app for children ages 2 through 12 to develop math skills faster at an early age through activities.
And on average, children are still learning at about 1.5 years every 3 months.
A platform that teaches concepts for skills like addition, subtraction, and even fractions, rather than forcing memorization.
The statistics show that if you get into algebra and you didn't understand these basic concepts, that recovery is virtually impossible.
It's a valuable tool in some ways. I think it's often overused in classrooms. We call them babysitter apps.
But some early childhood educators say apps like these can be limiting.
Math and learning math is a very social experience where children are talking to one another and trying to figure things out. And the app kind of removes a lot of that.
The children that do more math, they're better not just at math, they're better at all subjects.
A hope this parent wants for her own daughter.
Once it did click and she was just doing it on her own, then I was like, wow, this could actually help a lot by the time she gets to elementary school.
To make sure she won't be shy anymore.
Good job.
For Next, I'm Byron Reed.
They are working with an organization to make sure that kids of all income levels are able to use that app. Whenever one person downloads and pays for the app, a free download is available for children in underserved neighborhoods. Well, since we're on the topic of schools, we wanted to give you an update on the progress of our favorite principal. Allison Mallory is 8 months into recovery from a spinal cord injury, and she is back at her desk this week at Ralph Moody Elementary in Littleton. Her superintendent was there, gave her the old fist bump this week. I posted a video from the last time we chatted with Allison Mallory on my Facebook page. Speaker of the House Paul Ryan is in Colorado. No, this isn't a political story. He's just here on vacation. If you want to get out and be active this weekend, do not plan on climbing the Manitou Incline. A next viewer played license plate bingo and won. And we dove into the 9 News archives to take you back to 1979, the last time there was a total solar eclipse. Next. In case anyone wanted to know what Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan is doing for his summer vacation, he was in Colorado this week. In the Buena Vista area specifically, he went whitewater rafting on the Arkansas River through Browns Canyon National Monument on Wednesday. The group that brought Ryan and his family on the rafting trip say he was, quote, very nice and down to earth. If you had plans to climb the Manitou Incline and you still hadn't gotten to it, you've now lost your chance. The incline is closing for more repairs on Monday, and this weekend it's closed for the Pikes Peak Ascent Marathon, which just sounds nuts. The 3rd phase of repairs are expected to last into December. This time they're working on the upper third of the incline. That sounds complicated, so the next time you go climb it, it's probably going to be a bit chillier, which actually may help.
today. It's going to be too hot this weekend to do anything like that anyway. Highs are going to be in the 90s. Today we were in the 80s, and a lot of people really enjoyed the sunshine. This is a live look at Horsetooth Reservoir, where we have a lot of people boating today. Now, this evening, a couple of things going on. One, isolated thunderstorms are now starting to form across parts of our foothills and our mountains. These are pushing towards the northeast. So if you're over the Palmer Divide, watch for some isolated thunderstorms in your area. The chance for storms returns to Denver's forecast Saturday and Sunday. That'll be in the afternoon. You can see highs both days there, Steve, in the low 90s.
Yeah, no climbing the Manitou Incline then. That's a good idea. It's closed anyway. Thanks, Becky. Spotted a triple Q license plate. Very rare sighting here. Rebecca Tilbury sent this to us, and she said, not sure if you've received a triple Q license plate yet. Here it is. I've been hunting since you reported about this story about a year ago. I need to hunt something else now. Rebecca is talking about a story I reported on almost exactly a year ago. The font on the license plates that was used for a while in Colorado made it difficult to tell the difference between Q's and O's and the number 0, which made law enforcement, it made their job pretty tough. So the Colorado Department of Revenue chose not to issue plates with either letter to make sure no one got confused. Then 3 years ago, they changed the font, and now O's and Q's are more clear, and now Q's are all over, which is why so many license plates have a whole lot more of those letters now. Apparently 9 News used to have access to a private jet, and they used it to fly to the best spot for the total solar eclipse in 1979. We pulled some videotape. Astronomers are excited for the eclipse, arguably as excited as people were almost 1,000 years ago when an eclipse was spotted in New Mexico.
This would have been an entirely new and surprising and perhaps puzzling experience for the people living in Taco.
And we're excited to share your good news after a tough week. We hear a lot of people around here talking about the glory days of working in TV. We stumbled on one earlier today. When 9 News covered the last total solar eclipse in 1979, the whole crew went on a private jet to Helena, Montana to watch it in totality. They even flew to a different location because of cloud cover. I'll let reporter Nancy Montoya pick it up from this piece that first aired on 9 News February 26, 1979.
We would have to try and land in Glasgow, Montana. We arrived just in time. The locals had already gathered. It's hard to describe this phenomena. It defies words. At 9:24, the moon stole the morning sunshine.
Lordy, look at that! Totality! Oh. Totality! Oh. I can't get slow enough. Wow! Totality! Oh, baby!
For 2.5 minutes, we watched in awe. The horizon was breathtaking. It was like late evening. Streetlights came on. The sky was dark with the exception of a glowing disk. Then, almost as quickly as darkness fell, the sky lit up. The moon had completed this leg of its journey. Another eclipse of this magnitude will not take place in our area until the year 2017. Julie, tell me, what do you think about that?
I don't know. It was just kind of scary.
Scary? Why?
When it went out, I thought it was going to be pitch dark.
The piece that came across the earth was what was really fascinating. It was just kind of dead silence.
To say it was a spectacular sight would be an understatement. For a few fleeting moments, we were able to actually stare up at the sun with the naked eye. It was mystical. It was indeed incredible. From Glasgow, Montana, Nancy Montoya, 9 News.
Thank you, Nancy. Again, that was a story about the eclipse from 1979. There was also an eclipse 882 years before that, in the year 1097. And the proof of that is in a petroglyph in Chaco Canyon, New Mexico. Scientists believe art depicting the eclipse was carved in a rock by the early Pueblo people. It was actually found in 1992 during a field study for students from CU Boulder and Fort Lewis College. It's a circle with curved tangles and structures looping all around it. It may look strange to some people, but to those who admire space, they think it's a work of art.
There is this very strange looking petroglyph that to some people looks like a tick, a spider, a bug of some sort. But to a solar astronomer, it like an ugly duckling to a mother duck. It is beautiful. It looked like a solar eclipse. So I think this petroglyph really sort of continues this theme of an eclipse is not dangerous, not scary, but something to enjoy.
Kim, by the way, is heading up to Casper, Wyoming this weekend for the eclipse. He's even giving talks at the astronomical there we go, league, a group of about 1,000 amateur astronomers too. Now, if you plan on heading up to Wyoming to see the eclipse too, do not bring your weed. It's not legal there, and the marijuana industry group is asking you to remember it's illegal to take weed out of the state. Wyoming State Patrol also plans on ramping up enforcement to make sure the state's marijuana laws are being followed, especially near Colorado's border. So there's your official warning. May I make a recommendation? This is where we point you towards something anything that isn't ours, but is awesome. If you want to do something fun and festive to watch the eclipse on Monday, we have a few ideas for you. Breweries, because of course. Declaration, Launchpad, Boulder Beer Company, and Vine Street Pub are a few of the breweries around Denver that have fun activities planned for the eclipse. Free yoga classes, special beer releases, eclipse glasses. It sounds like a bunch of fun, and there's a link on the next Facebook page if you want to start making plans for Monday. A funny update to a story we brought you last week about cats and your good news after a very long week. That's next. So we have a funny update to a story Dr. Max and I talked about a week ago. It was all about cats and how they're happier when they have a friend. It's science, and apparently it was enough to convince Colleen Hainzel's husband it was time for a second kitty. He apparently wasn't having it until he saw the segment, and then less than 24 hours later, boom, there's another cat in the house. The big guy is Remus, the new little brother is Scout. Congrats to Colleen and her husband. Happy cat parenting, it's fun. Well, hey, it's Friday, and after a week like this, we thought we'd bring it out here in the backyard. It's time for something good, your good news. We asked photojournalist Tom Cole to head to Uptown to ask one question. What's your good news?
What's my good news?
My good news is? My good news is that it's my birthday.
I'm grateful to have some caring friends.
I'm alive. I'm healthy.
I haven't had a proper birthday in a couple years, now I'm glad to see everybody that is important to me.
I got a heartbeat still, so I'm alive.
I don't know. Have a good job?
I'm back in the town that drafted me to the NHL. I was drafted in 2000 by the Colorado Avalanche. Blake Ward, look it up.
Good news is I got to open a business and meet wonderful people and employ them and give back to the community.
We're going to be in Bryce Canyon for the eclipse.
That'll be fantastic.
I don't know. What else is good? You guys gotta help me out.
We're on vacation.
We're on vacation.
It's the preseason for the NFL.
Good news is I'm here to relieve people of their stress.
It's true. That could be my good news. I had heart surgery. I made it. I don't know.
It's been a heck of a week. A lot of things on people's minds right now, but how about we just take the weekend and chill out a little bit? Have a beverage, maybe something that isn't clear like this. Enjoy yourselves this weekend and get out and see the eclipse. By the way, send all of your good news to the hashtag HeyNext. Kyle's back next week, and we'll see you next time.